You're out. Joining us now, Republican Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio, sir. How do you ensure 30 million more people and shrink the deficit?
I mean, come on, guys. We know that's not going to happen. The American people have figured it out. The American people don't like this bill. I just came from the Budget Committee where they're starting this process with the whole reconciliation program beginning today. The American people get it. It's unfortunate, though, the Democrats, I said in committee, what part of no don't you get? The American people have said time and time again they don't want this. They don't want it for two reasons, I think. One is they don't like being told how they're going to get their health care. And two, the cost that you point out. We know when you try to insure 30 million more Americans, it's going to cost to the already bankrupt system we have when you think about the deficits we're running and the debt we're piling up. So, again, what part of no don't these guys get? They were going to pass this thing in September. The American people said no. They're going to pass it in October. The American people said no. They're going to pass it before Thanksgiving. The American people said no. They're going to pass it before Christmas. The American people said no. They were going to pass it before the State of the Union, and the American people said no. And now here we are. Now we're going to get it done before Easter. I mean, come on. What part don't they get?
Representative, then, I mean, I think, do you need to go about this a different way? Do you need to go to the Congressional Budget Office and say, look, this is not adding up. This doesn't make sense, because those are the numbers. That's the information the Democrats are using. They're saying, hey, the Congressional Budget Office is saying, yes, it will cost this much, but then it will reduce the deficit. You got to go to the CBO and say and call them out on this if you're saying this is not true.
When the CBO starts with the faulty premises that the Democrats give, and remember, Paul Ryan made this point great at the health care get-together up at Blair House. When they're given the wrong premises, they're going to spit out the right numbers. They do good work there. But when they're given the wrong premises from the Democrats, then you come up with these numbers. But we're past that. The American people have figured this out. They know you can't insure this many more people and it not add to the deficit and increase the debt that our kids and our grandkids have to pay for. We are past it. But what's unfortunate is these folks here in Washington, these Democrats in Washington, they don't care what the American people think. They don't care what they say. They've said it time and time again, but they are determined to push forward with their plan that the American people don't want. And our job is to keep fighting and keep after it, and hopefully we can stop them this week.
Representative, carefully not to make this a partisan issue any further than it already is. What is it that you think the Republicans could possibly do that would be constructive? I mean, walk us through the best-case scenario in your mind. What would happen over the next 6 months to a year in this reform bill?
Well, I mean, look, this week's what we're focused on, and we're doing everything we can right now, but we're offering every single motion to instruct amendment that we can. I just got done arguing against one of the Democrats' motions in the committee. So we need to do every parliamentary, every procedural thing we can this week. More and more time for the American people to see what they're trying to ram through this week. And again, I'm still not convinced they're going to get this done. I said to a group back home last week, they've said all along they were going to get it passed, but if you're a betting person, bet with the American people. They have stopped it now for a year, and it's not a final deal, even though they're saying that it is. So we just got to keep making the arguments, making the motions, making the procedural arguments that we can.
See that the people, they're clapping behind him, bet with the American people. Here's the question, though. If somehow you get to a vote, and it feels to me like Pelosi's going to get her ducks in line and get her vote. Maybe. The way it happens, correct me if I'm wrong, it's signed, it's a House, now it's a Senate bill, it's signed by the House. It is now going to be signed into law by President Obama. And then it could be, who knows, I don't know, 6 months, a year before this reconciliation part of it, that bill gets hashed out.
Great point. I mean, this is amazing to me. Lindsey Graham said this last week. It's a game of who's the dumbest Democrat in town, because they're asked, Democrats in the House are asked to go ahead and sign off on the Senate bill, and oh yeah, we promise in the future, the Senate, we promise we will fix the things you don't like in the Senate bill. Well, once that bill is, this is like the old scene from Animal House when Belushi says, oh, you messed up, you trusted us. I mean, that's what this is. They're supposed to trust the Senate that they're going to fix it later. And we keep making that argument to some of our Democrat colleagues, saying, look, guys, you really want to trust those guys to fix what you don't like about the Senate bill? When that thing passes and the president signs it, that's the law. That 2,700-page bill that takes over 1/6 of the American economy, that tells Americans how they're going to get their health care and adds to the deficit and increases the debt so our kids and our grandkids have to pay for it. That's the bottom line.
Well, we're leaving it up to you to stop that then, Congressman. Congressman Jim Jordan.
Thank you.
Putting it on you. Thanks for joining us.
Representative referencing Animal House?
Yeah, but he missed one word. He was off by a word.
Yeah, still.
I didn't. Over my